Monday, August 5th, 2021, Parks, Recreation and Tourism Agenda Meeting, and I'll call it to order. Can I get an approval for the agenda, or if there's any discussion before, so let me know? Nope. So can I get an approval for it?
Motion for approval.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any against? All right, so we'll move on to the next item, which is public comments. Do we have any, Jennifer?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next thing, which is public presentations. Jennifer, do we have public presentations?
We do. We have two. First, if you all remember last commission meeting, Lexi had, I think, started that day, I think. So we're going to bring her up front so she can introduce herself. She has literally hit the ground running. I think that's kind of the theme with our department is we literally take off and go. So without further ado, Miss Lexi Lee.
Hello,
Hello.
I'm Lexi. I'm the new Programs and Events Manager here at the City of Hardeeville. Before joining the team here, I was at a school in Saudi Arabia doing the events and marketing. Before that, I lived in Bluffton and worked in Sun City in the Lifestyle Services Department. Like Jen said, it's been a whirlwind the past 4 weeks that I've been here, but it's been super great. Glad I was here to see the rec center open, and I'm looking forward to everything that's coming soon.
Does anyone have any questions for Lexi?
Welcome to the city of Hardeeville. I know it's we're a growing city, and we definitely appreciate the work that you'll put into making the programs even better than they were before.
Yes, thanks for, I think you, weren't you doing, at the opening, you were doing like a tour or something? Wasn't that you doing that?
I was doing the raffle and
Raffles.
the giveaways.
I remember seeing you on something, so welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Lexi.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, and our next public presentation is Mr. Ryan. Is it, I'm going to, Stefanik. Oh,
Well, yeah, thank you very much. My name is Ryan Stefanik. I am thrilled to be here, very excited to see all of what's going on in your city. Congratulations on the new recreation center opening. That is a huge asset to your community. So that's kind of why I'm here. I want to help grow on all of that. I am the founder of Sergeant BMX. We're right now a local advocacy group to hopefully raise interest and support for a BMX track to bring to the Low Country. Right now, there's nothing like this anywhere around here within 2.5 hours. The closest one is Jacksonville. So I prepared a short, like about 6-minute video kind of summarizing our goals and why we feel the new East Argent track might be an ideal location for this if you all agree to that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm here for any questions afterwards. Thanks.
For a presentation for Sergeant BMX. We are a growing advocacy group for the promotion and development for a local BMX track to benefit all low country riding enthusiasts. Our mission is simple, to provide a venue that fosters individual and community growth that celebrates the rich history of BMX racing. Recent population boom of the low country is a testament to our amenity-rich quality of life. We are blessed by the abundance of many traditional forms of recreation, tennis, golf, soccer, baseball, and water sports. However, few areas are designated as safe zones for cyclists. Other than sidewalks or driveways, youth riders are busy roads or fast-moving lanes. Solution: a well-designed venue exclusively for riders, combined with a fast-paced, non-traditional sport that builds confidence, fosters community support, generates revenue, and embodies the active lifestyle that has become synonymous with our area. This age-inclusive sport will not only benefit youth cyclists, but their parents too. Regardless of ability level, if you ride a bike, you can participate. BMX racing is one of the fastest growing sports with over 70,000 members racing at more than 300 sanctioned tracks across the country. Our weekly and seasonal recreational programs receive the same and many times higher participation rates than traditional stick and ball type sports. USA BMX has unprecedented tourism program. Every track and community is able to benefit. Community integration with local schools as well. BMX racing is the first and only sport with accredited educational programming and STEM-focused school students. The USA BMX Foundation provides STEM education resources for youth and teaching professionals. We recently kicked off our first Read to Ride challenge at Bluffton Elementary, and the students loved it. They won prizes, and we awarded the top reader a brand new bike. Here's a personalized video from Sophia to our local students.
Hello, Clifton students. I'm Sophia Foresta. I'm a professional BMX athlete from Utah. Currently, I am studying business management and American Sign Language at Utah Valley University. I am so excited that your school is participating in the Read to Ride program. Reading is so personal. We all like to read different things, books, magazines, blogs, you name it. Reading is reading. Just like racing, the more you do it, the better you get. Today, I thought I'd share with you one of my favorite books, The American Sign Language Dictionary. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't just read the dictionary. But for me right now, without being able to directly communicate with the deaf community, it's important for me to improve upon my language, and this book definitely helps. I hope throughout this you get to learn more about what you like to read and things that you enjoy reading outside of school. But good luck with your program, and I cannot wait to see who wins the bike.
Ideal location. Sergeant BMX, as indicated in green on the left, would be the only BMX track in the southeast South Carolina region. Next closest track being Jacksonville, Florida is 2. Roughly 80% of your rider membership will receive a 2-mile radius, making the East Argent Corridor an ideal location for both Jasper County residents and those traveling across state lines. We want to help you develop your vision and master plan. East Argent Park embody an active lifestyle through an array of outdoor recreation. By partnering with Sergeant BMX and a nonprofit organization, we can successfully team up to develop a vision reference to new. To build this community asset, we will educate the public on many benefits of BMX racing, assist governing bodies with planning, closely with USA BMX, the governing body of the sport, fundraise and create in-kind donations and events. Proposed YMCA will also be additional recreation. Regulated track environment will bring visitors to these scheduled events. How we're going to help. Our local organization will serve as the hub for all BMX related activities. Facility maintained through a partnership with Sergeant BMX, day-to-day programming and business managed through a use agreement. Sergeant BMX will be fully trained by USA BMX. Liability coverage is available through sanctioned events with USA BMX. Community involvement via school programming, their STEM programs, rec centers, and networking with other tracks and hosting regional tournaments and weekly practice and races. We've already started spreading the word and interest is there. As seen on our Facebook page, we have high levels of engagement, lots of interested parties. We just need a home. What could a BMX track look like, you ask? Well, something like this. Occupying roughly 2 acres, a local level track could include dirt strip, paved turns, an initial starting gate, parking, and small multi-use buildings for sign-ups or rentals. Costs can be minimized by in-kind donations through sponsors and partnerships with other local entities. If you feel bringing this growing sport to the Lowcountry will benefit our residents, we're ready to take the next steps with you. First step would be to approve the preliminary site location. Second, site analysis and scope of build. Third, draft a lease and partnership. 4, seek in-kind donations and fundraise. 5, build and ride. We've assembled a team of dedicated professionals to help ensure our success, such as the Don Ryan Center for Innovation, USA BMX, local entrepreneurs and mentors, consultants, attorneys. On behalf of Sergeant BMX and the future of BMX riding in the area, we want to thank you for your consideration.
I recognize that's a lot of information in 6 minutes, but I guess my goal today was just to open the dialogue, have a conversation with you guys, and eventually let me know if this is something that you feel like would be mutually beneficial.
Okay, have you presented to the council, or you're just,
So Jasper County Parks and Rec is aware of this. I met with Johnny Davis a couple times, and they were very, very much interested. And I have a lot of appreciation for the effort that they put into that. We had initially looked at Sergeant Jasper Park out there But my concern is a lot of the land is low-lying, and we had one area that they had a site analysis done, it was all wetlands. So there might be some more opportunity out there, but I also feel like accessibility for a lot of local residents is going to be huge. Yeah, Sergeant Jasper will be probably coming along in the future, but right now, if we have East Argent with all the homes over there coming up, all the residential and commercial, easy access to 170, I think it would be a lot more accessible for residents and people coming through. So that's why I do think, especially with the YMCA proposed, it would make sense.
So I guess I'm a little bit confused.
Sherry.
So I think that.
I'm sorry.
I think that it is a wonderful idea. I like the BMX. I also like skate parks. I think that we have too few of them in the low country. We need the place for the kids. However, you talk about a partnership. What is the responsibility of, let's say, Hardeeville versus your organization?
Sure.
Where does the liability fit, the cost of actually building and all that?
Okay, yeah, good question. And maybe that's a conversation we have at another time. But in that one packet, which is the operational landscape of a BMX track, there's lots of different ways to structure one. So one way is we sort of partner together. You help with the infrastructure and building the park, but we run it. So we would take care of maintenance, scheduling all the races and practices. So the difference between like a pump track or a skate park is this is a fenced-in area. It's controlled and manned when events are taking place. So people wouldn't just come and go as they go like by themselves. We would hold weekly scheduled events. So when that scheduled event is taking place, we would have volunteers and staff there. They would pay a small fee to be able to ride and race. And all that goes through USA BMX. And through that membership, they have liability coverage, event sanctions, all that stuff. So the short answer is you would help us with the infrastructure and building the park, but we would man the daily operations of it, either the maintenance of the track itself, registering people, having the actual event itself, practices, all that stuff. There's other ways of structuring it too. Like if you wanted to control it all, you could do it and you would just partner with us for, support and stuff like that. But there's lots of different ways.
So I guess what my question was,
So let me
You know what my
let me go back.
question-
Yes. So he has to come to you all first
Okay.
to discuss everything. If you all are interested in doing this, East Argent is a couple of years down the road. We don't even have all the infrastructure in East Argent right now, but that's where the only place that we have land. So Ryan and I have been talking for a while, and I also told him to go see Johnny as well in the event that, we want to do something a little bit sooner. So basically what Ryan does is he comes to you all so you guys can get a really good feel of it. As far as the proposals moving forward, if the RAC is, yeah, this sounds like something that we could do and you can get behind it, then what we would do is we would take it to city council. And then that's where all the nuts and bolts get worked out as far as who pays what and how we build it. And is there going to be room in our master plan for East Argent and all that? But we're still about 2 to 3 years out.
So where I know that they're building the Y, which I don't even know what location on East Argent that is. I know where the Sun City is going. I know where a few other housing areas are going. Where would this actually fit in physically on East Argent?
So Riverton Point now, not Hampton Point. That access road all the way back is where our property is. So that's where the school's going to go in. The YMCA, I believe, is over on the other side, over by Oldfield. So it's all going to kind of come together in one big conglomerate of pile of houses and all kinds of fun stuff. So
this is, they set aside a certain percentage for
that the city
parks
owns.
and
Yes.
whatever. So you're proposing that y'all would use some of that land that's already being designated as East Argent gets developed.
That's correct. And I
You just want to
apologize.
get it on the ground floor because otherwise something else may take its place.
That's
Right.
correct. I see the parks that you have proposed. I love the area. I just see the future over there. And I just feel like this would be another recreation opportunity that's a little bit different than your traditional team sports. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but there's also a lot of people who want to do individual sports. And this is an Olympic sport too. And so I think, partnering with everyone and having that facility there draw a lot of interest, especially recurring people coming in and out.
Well, there's a lot of interest in biking in general in this area. I mean, we do a lot of racing sort of things, or long distance, or even fundraisers that do that, either running or bike racing. Like I live on Pine Arbor Road, and I see them all the time coming through. So, I mean, I know there's a definite interest in this area, not just in Jasper, but in Beaufort County. I certainly don't. If we're looking at making a recommendation for you to make a presentation to our city council, you've already met with Jasper County. I don't really see a problem with you presenting to them, because of course, the more diversity that you have, the better off the community is. But knowing that it would just be, like, all we can do is really recommend that you go before city council.
Okay. Yeah, and that's kind of like my goal. I just want to just hear your thoughts and feedback, and see if there was space in your parks land out there, then maybe we could squeeze in a little bit. We only need about like maybe 2 or 3 acres, which I know is probably a lot when you have a lot of planning out there. But I do agree with you that cycling is very demand around here, and there's just not a lot of safe places to do it, especially for kids. I mean, I have 3 little boys, and I don't know where I would take them right now. So I think if you have a controlled environment where as a parent you can kind of see everything that's happening all in front of you, there's volunteers out there, it's a safe sport, they have helmets on, it's just a lot of fun too.
That brings me to another question I have, because of what you said, that there be weekly activities going on. Is there a chance for kids or even adults just to go there on a daily basis if they wanted to and practice, or is it only open for scheduled?
It's only open for scheduled events, yeah. So you have alternatives. I mean, you could do something called a pump track, which is kind of like a skate park, where it's just open all the time, but it's essentially a bunch of rollers. It's a little compact area with asphalt rollers, and you have fun, do whatever you want. So that's a good option. But if you want to have these sanctioned events where maybe you're competing with Jacksonville, Florida, or Lexington, or Rock Hill, they can come down and race on our track too. And then you're on a national grid of a scoring system. And yes, so we would be out there hosting the practices maybe twice a week, and maybe once a week have a race. And you accumulate points and you have fun, meet friends.
And the revenue goes to you or to?
Well, that's all, it all
That's
depends
negotiated.
on how we would structure it. Yeah, if you are carrying most of the maintenance costs, we would funnel some of that back to you. But if it's on us, then we probably need it. But the costs are minimal, really. It's like $5 a race. It's not much. They're paying an annual membership to USA BMX, but to come and ride, it's very affordable.
You've got presentation that are very small.
Make sure you're talking into your mic so that people can hear you.
So the 2 maps that you have, you've got one that's got a red circle in it,
Yes,
and then one above that.
correct.
Are they the same area?
They're the same area. One's just zoomed in. That red circle is exactly above Riverton Point, where I believe your park is already proposed.
So
Yeah, it's now Riverton. They changed it. It was Hampton Point, but now
That's
it's
right.
called Riverton.
Yeah.
that's off 170 by,
It's on Argent. It's off Argent.
by Margin, where Sun City is.
Yep.
And I just would like to add too, we already have bike trails being proposed, that's already part of our master plan. So this would kind of marry into that whole issue. Because like in Beaufort County, they have a lot of bike trails, but we don't really, or bike paths, but we don't really have any of that here. So we are working toward that. Does anyone have an issue with him presenting to the council? He's already presented to Jasper County, so I would think that we would want to make sure that our council knew what was going on too, but
I'd be happy to.
unless anybody has
No, I think it's a great idea. Anything that's out there for the youth to do. I had a buddy of mine who leased land in North Charleston, and they built a track.
Yeah.
Many, many years ago, because his son raced, and so they didn't have anything around, so they built one.
Right.
And so I think this is a really, really great opportunity, especially that it is in the Olympics now, and gives kids another option.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the land is absolutely the hardest thing to find around here. Everything's so expensive. All the master planning is mostly done. That's why we was hoping to just get in on the ground floor. And if, you're going to be expanding up there, maybe just give us a couple acres.
All right, so
And
Jennifer,
that's kind of where we're at right now. So this is a few, like I said, a few years down the road. There is no master plan right now. What you see is from the developer. So this isn't an actual plan. This is just kind of showing what a conceptual plan would be. So once we get to that point where all the infrastructure is in and they're ready to pull the trigger, then we would do a master plan. And that's where we would look at all the things that we want to go in there, because I think it's like 80 acres, and we have to split some of it with police and fire. And then we also have to split some of it with the schools. So we're not sure exactly which school's going in there yet, but that's all that stuff we're in the process of planning right now.
So does this go next to the planning committee or to the actual city council?
No, so right now, there's no plan. We're down the road. He's just trying to get ahead of it so we can take him, and he can go in front of our council to let them know and say, hey, this is something that once you get to your master plan point, we would really like,
You to
to see this
contact us,
added.
right.
Yes, and then, of course, Ryan and I would stay in contact, because like I said, we're probably about a year or two out. But things are changing. I mean, they're moving fast. So,
But this is definitely in Hardeeville.
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
This 15-mile one looks like it's Bluffton.
Yeah, that was
Well,
just a
that's-
general.
Yeah, it's just showing you who else would be able to come to it.
Stated about 80% of the people would come from 50-mile radius. That's what he's showing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so initially, this had concept that kind of started as Bluffton BMX because I plan on, but I think Sergeant BMX has a good ring to it, especially like the history attached to it, and I think it just works well. But yeah, so I appreciate your feedback.
I would like to move, and I don't know if we have to or not, that we do propose that he go forward to the city.
yeah, I think that's what Jennifer wants from us,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Okay, so I've got a motion. Can I get a second?
A second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
Great,
So
thank you very much.
You
Really
are
appreciate
most
it.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll
Thank
get
you.
with you on the date for it. Okay, thanks.
Okay, so we're down to old business. Jennifer, do we have any old business to discuss?
No, Madam Chair, there's no old business.
All right, so we're moving down to 7, which is presentation and approval of the July 12th minute meetings. Are there any questions, first of all, about that, or any comments? Nope. So can I get a motion for approval?
Motion for approval.
Second?
Second?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. So we'll move forward with that, and moving down to 8, is there any new business, Jennifer?
No new business, Madam Chair.
All right, then we will move down to the director report.
A lot of business there.
There always is.
I'm going to try and be as brief as possible. For those that didn't know, the wait is over. Our rec center is open. I have not sent you all the newsletter yet, so you do have it in your packets. We are a little behind. It is literally pedal to the metal. In a matter of a week's time from when we opened, last Monday, we've made almost $9,000 in revenue.
Wow.
We have over 309 members, and it's continually growing. Growing so much, in fact, that we've run out of ink on our badge system. So we're waiting for that to come in. We knew there was going to be a lot of folks coming in. I guess we just didn't realize how much they were going to come in so fast and so quick. So if you haven't been over there, we encourage you to come over and check it out. You can take a tour. Of course, all the fees, we've gone through all of that, hashed everything out. They're very, very affordable. And our grand opening went swimmingly well, for lack of a better word. We had almost 1,000 people
Wow.
in and out of the facility over a 4-hour period.
Wow.
We ran out of all of our supplies. We ran out of all of our swag. Police ran out of all their stuff. Everybody ran out of everything. So it was amazing. If anything, it should tell not only you, but council what a great decision this is. I know the next thing probably we'll be talking about is profit and loss. So that's a whole nother ballgame that we'll deal with, but it is an absolutely beautiful facility. We are still going to be hiring some positions, so if you know of anyone looking, we'll put some more stuff up on Facebook, but it is amazing. It's nice to see from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. the different types of people that are coming in. You have little kids with their grandparents. You have older folks using the track. You have all kinds of people using the fitness center. So it's a good mix of all ages. So, and that's what your rec center should do. But we've got some pickleball coming up. We'll be having volleyball games with Royal Live Oaks. They'll be starting, and of course, they're going to do basketball as well. So there's a lot of different programming. And of course, the big one is part of the tournaments that we're going to start seeing. So Hugo definitely has his work cut out for him to get us up and running. And like I said, we're literally working nonstop to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So and there's still a few little kinks here and there that we have to work through as a new building, but it's gone very well. Our interns left us. Their last day was last Friday, so they are going back. One is graduated. That was Ray. And then Kelsey has one more year, so we enjoyed having them here. They did quite a bit this summer with Brittany before she left. They did a lot of the pop-up park and play, so that was really exciting, and we took it out to the different neighborhoods. And even with COVID, we were still able to do that safely. And of course, everyone met Lexi, and there's some new faces to our team. These are some of the friendly faces that you'll see. Mr. Joyner is up at our front desk. Keely Gray will be joining us here next week, I believe. She's a USCB student. Cole Nettles is local, very local to us, so he's up front. And then, of course, we have Miss Guadalupe as well, and she's bilingual, so that's a very good plus for us up there. So we're all very, very busy doing all kinds of stuff at the rec center, literally. We just got done doing Fill the Bus. That was amazing. We dropped off the supplies today. So Festival on Main, as if Parks and Rec didn't have enough to do. We have a huge festival we're planning. So that'll be October 15th and 16th. We do have all of the major stuff already done as far as the bands, the rides, all that stuff. So we're working on the food trucks and some vendors and all that kind of stuff. So we're also going to have the Paul Bunyan Lumberjack Show. So that'll be really fun. That's a complete, total package for your family from young to old.
What is that?
They are, you have to come. You have to come and see them. They are a hoot. They do everything that you can possibly think of for a lumberjack show. From log rolling to throwing axes and all kinds of really cool stuff. So, also too, the trunk or treat is coming up. I know it's kind of weird to be in August and think about trunk or treat, but yeah, it's coming fast. So, right? Oh, I know. It's like Christmas. Forget all that. We're just going to go straight to Christmas. So that is coming up as well. And in November, we've got Battle of the Badges that we'll be doing with Fire and Police. So we'll be partnering with a whole bunch of folks on that. And Lexi is going to do a great job with some of our new programming. And hopefully we'll expand the trunk or treat to make it even bigger and better than it was. We will also be expanding from not only Sun City, but also to Riverton Point. We're going to try and go into Hilton Head Lakes and then Margaritaville as well to see if we can get a lot more volunteers. Last year, believe it or not, even with COVID, we still did really well. I mean, we were supposed to be wrapped up, I think, at 7 or 8, and people were still coming through the drive-through.
But we're not going to do a drive-through, right?
As of right now, no.
Okay.
Well, hopefully COVID stays at bay and everyone's, whether we have to mask up or whatever, we're going to do whatever it takes to keep our community safe. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Like I said, it's just been so busy with getting the rec center up and running, and for the last 3 years, we've talked about it, planned on it, and now it's a reality. So it's, like I said, if you haven't been over, I encourage you to go over and check it out. It is just phenomenal, and the air conditioning is now working.
I know. I heard it was pretty bad.
Yes. If anything could have gone wrong, we had a huge power surge Friday, the day of our celebration night, the dedication, and we were all kind of thinking, what was that? We heard it, but we weren't sure. And then about 4:30, we realized, So it shut off some of the systems, and they came in, and they got everything back up and running, I think, that Monday afternoon. So by Tuesday, we were nice and cool. So you think it was cool? Friday night? Oh, this is true. Yes, this is very true. Yeah, as soon as you were inside, you were hot, but when you went outside and then come back in, it did feel like the air conditioning was on.
Now, is that a problem that shouldn't happen again now that you kind of?
It shouldn't, it shouldn't. But, with a big building, there's always things that might, happen down the
Have all
road.
these automated things, I know.
Yes, but it does have battery backup, and the cell was bad, so that has been fixed as well. So in the event that there is a surge, it should be able to kick back in, and we won't have that issue. But it was definitely interesting. We made the best of it. We had a lot of people come through. We did a lot of interviews. So it was, like I said, it's amazing. If you haven't been over to see the building, it's really pretty. And folks are coming in, like I said, of all ages, and, the membership fees are pretty good. And just the fact that in a week's time, like we just opened Monday, so in 1 week, we've got almost 310 members and made over $9,000 in a week, so that's crazy. But we're going to continue on, like I said, with all the different projects and programs. We will be working on our Trails program. The whole idea was once this rec center got open, Jen can kind of step back a little bit and start doing some of the other stuff, East Argent, all that kind of stuff. So be looking for all of that to come through the wire here shortly. But other than that, that's all I have, Madam Chair.
It's not me. Okay, I'm going to start on this
Is
end.
that your sound?
It is you.
It is me.
Oh,
I'm going to start on this end all the way down, and if you have a concern or something that you want to share with the committee, we'll just move down this way. That's probably the quickest way to do it. If you don't, that's fine. We just want to give you an opportunity to ask any questions or express any concerns that you might have.
I am good.
All
I
right.
am good,
Next.
No concerns, just big kudos for the rec center.
no doubt.
My only question, the 9,000, was that from like annual dues or monthly dues or?
it's a mixture of both.
Combination of both?
Yeah, and that's, we actually, and I can start doing some reports, just, it won't be this week. It is a good mixture of annual and monthly. So we weren't really sure. That's why a lot of places just want to do one set fee, but we knew there was going to be people that needed some flexibility. But I mean, we've got family memberships that are 100% paid in full, like $275. They're like, yep, we're going to pay it for the year. But it is a good mix.
And then, so what did you guys plan for the first week? Was it 100 people, 200 people, or something like that? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
So-
we have literally gone over everything. I mean, we had a plan in place and thought, yeah, this is what we're going to have. And we were very conservative. Clearly, we were a little too conservative because it just went totally different.
That's great news.
Yeah.
I'm
so,
really happy
and
for
it's going to
that.
continue to grow. So, and like I said, I mean, it's neat because, like I said, not only if you don't want to get the center membership and you just really want to use the track or you just want to use a fitness center, we have a lot of different items for you to choose from. So it's not just all one thing. You have a menu basically to choose from. So we have, like I said, if you're a resident here in the city of Hardeeville, the walking track, 55 and plus, is 100% free. And if you're kids and you're a resident of the city of Hardeeville, the gymnasium is free. Of course, you do have to come with mom and dad under the age of 12, but that's 100% free. So that's a really good thing for the kids. It's a safe space for them. And of course, we're partnering with Royal Live Oaks too to do some stuff as well. So
Anything else? I was going to piggyback on that and just ask if you have a goal that you really, like a number, a membership amount that you really need to kind of, I know you talked about losses. Is there some, because I would hope you're going to continue to do like membership drives and that sort of thing, but is there like something that you're really shooting for or you're not really sure at this point?
So this year's kind of a little bit of a mix. So what we wanted to do was kind of give ourselves, I don't want to say an out, but we wanted to try and figure out what the community was going to do, if we were going to get more that were going to be annual, or if we're going to get more that was going to be monthly. Because basically what we're trying to do is to figure out exactly what that price point is that we need every month to be able to sustain the building. So there isn't really a specific goal just yet, but once we meet that price point, then we'll know moving forward. Every month, we have to meet this amount of members and this amount annually in order to cover these costs. But it's going to take probably 6 months to get it to where we need to be.
because my other question is, I mean, it's open, you have employees that you have to pay, you have
Yes.
bills that you have to pay. So and I'm not really talking to Jen, I am, but I'm including y'all, but I'm just wondering, what is the plan for that? Because do you have a slush fund? Is the council knowing that you're gonna, there's gonna be a takeoff time? Are they,
Yeah,
do you
so-
have like a safety net?
Yes.
I'm just
Yeah, there's no
wondering
slush fund.
exactly how, you know what I'm talking about?
Right,
Is there some
yes.
kind of
There's an
something?
annual budget,
Because you don't want to
yes.
hire people and then,
Yeah.
we're not seeing
No,
the need or-
absolutely not. So right now, what we have is we've got budgeted, I think it's 5 part-timers. And then, of course, we were going to try and hire a full-time custodian, and even that's proving a little difficult. So we're kind of working through that to get a contract. But all of that is budgeted for this year. So we know exactly how much we're going to be paying out for the staff, for the overhead costs, all of that. So we've actually probably budgeted just a little bit extra just to safeguard ourselves, because like the electric bill and heating, you have a general idea of what it's going to be, but until that facility opens and you live in it, you breathe in it, you're not going to be able to know. So yes, everything has been budgeted. We won't be going over the budget, or Mr. C is definitely going to have a little chit chat with me. So, but yes, we do have our annual budget. It was approved by council back in June. So yes,
So you feel comfortable with it?
very comfortable.
Okay, and then we have the free stuff that's about, like the playground and that sort of stuff. And we know that there's some problems down there with people not wanting to take care of equipment and stuff. Are we looking somewhere down the road at possibly trying to hire somebody that can, or, 2 part-time people or something that can kind of, at least at high traffic times or times when we're noticing, because you have surveillance cameras, when there are problems, are we looking at maybe possibly?
Well, we do have 2 part-timers right now, but I mean, what they're doing is they're maintaining Millstone, they're also maintaining our parks, and they're also working over at the rec center as well. So they're actually over inundated. But we can certainly look at it down the road to see.
I mean, it's a lot of money
It
that we
is.
put in down there.
And there's not a lot of public parks that have folks that are out there basically being like a park monitor. We hope that the public will, if they see something, that they'll send it to us, and they do. Like I said, we had an issue where a lady sent us a Facebook message and showed us some bolts that were coming loose. So, we were like, what in the world? And we do a daily inspections. They were actually on top of the swings, so we took the swings down, and they had to come in. And what we have a video of is children climbing on top of the swing sets. Even though there's climbing apparatus, they were climbing on top of it. And by doing that, their feet were on the top, and I guess, they were just kind of jumping off, having a good old time. But every time that they did that, it would loosen the bolt, and of course, that's not what they're designed to do. But kids are going to be kids, and unfortunately, their parents just drop them off, and they're not really watching them. So, yes, we have rules posted, we have all that stuff, and still, it's going to happen. So we just have to take some extra care to make sure that we're catching stuff, and we hope, like I said, that the public lets us know. But surveillance cameras are working, and they are catching those that are violating our rules. So,
Okay, all right, so beware out there. If you didn't know there were cameras, you are
Oh, yes,
being
ma'am.
watched.
they are working, yes. We caught
Okay.
a group of kids the other day in a vehicle doing some things they weren't supposed to do, so, yes.
All right.
I'm good.
Okay, Jennifer, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, ma'am. I just want to say thank you all for, the tremendous support that we've had over the last couple of years to get the rec center up. And thank you to the Kudas for providing yummy food on our opening day. Even that got gone in like 20 minutes. We were like,
The only thing we didn't run out of is sweat.
right? Yeah, it was like 100 degrees, and we were all, it was crazy back and forth. But
Thank y'all.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was amazing. And we definitely want to thank the public for coming out because it's overwhelming to see everybody come in. And even those that are in gated communities are coming in. And we have downtown folks from Hardeeville, so it's really a hub of every different type of personality in Hardeeville. And that's what a rec center is designed. It should be a place where you feel safe, a place where you feel at home, a place where you feel ultimately that, you're part of the Hardeeville family. So kudos to all of you for sticking it through the last couple of years. It's amazing, so very blessed.
Okay, so if I could get a motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right, we'll see you on September 13th.